The Spurs pull off some magic in Golden State, getting the win after this huge buzzer beater by Harrison Barnes. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, the NBA should be terrified on what these San Antonio Spurs are capable of. Spurs Digest family, was good? I'm Bryan Colbert here with a post-game / reacts to an incredible game. They had us up late last night when they were taking on the Golden State Warriors, but somehow, some way, the Spurs found a way to get the W. And we're going to talk about that and really what this means, not just for the Spurs, but the entire NBA, because I got to imagine NBA teams across the league, general managers across the league, front offices across the league are looking at what's going on with the Spurs right now and getting a little worried, because somehow, some way, they found a way to beat a playoff team that's really still playing. They ain't benching nobody. They really have a reason to play because of the seeding in the West. They found a way to win without two of their stars. Imagine what that means for the Spurs, and imagine what that means for Spurs fans when we do get Wemby and Fox back, because the season is almost over. What's good, Spurs Digest family? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every time we post. Let's take a look at the play again. Harrison Barnes coming up big with the clutch shot to get the win on the road. You see the love, you see the passion, and to me, that is what's most important about what we are looking at with these Spurs, because even though they had every reason to lay down, they didn't. They found a way to get a win again against a team that is competing for a title, for a playoff spot. And every game matters for the Warriors right now, much like the Lakers, much like the Nuggets. So you know that they wanted this win. And I think that they looked at this game and said, oh, this is a winnable game. Because it's not like the Lakers so much where that end stretch is ridiculous. Like, this should be a winnable game for the Golden State Warriors. However, when you have a team that's inspired, when you have a team that knows how to get it done and that's used to missing some of their best players, sometime, some way, the Spurs will find a way. And they did. And a big shout out to Harrison Barnes for a big bucket, because the play before, he had a turnover that could have cost them the game. But what did he do? He shook it off, short-term memory, and hit a major shot for the Spurs. Now, do we expect to see Harrison Barnes hitting big shots like this all next season? Not necessarily, no. But to me, it encompasses what we've been talking about since Wemby went down, since we lost Fox. The important things we need to see from these guys, and we got to see it. First things first, Stephon Castle. Wow. There's no doubt he's the best player on the court when he's on the court. And that's how it feels when I watch him. Like, without Wemby, without Fox, we were talking about the guys that need to step up. We've seen Dev step up a lot, but it's really been Stephon Castle on both ends of the floor that has been so impressive. Huge block, a couple of steals there, 21 points, 8 for 15, a very efficient game. And remember, he's still not shooting great from the three-point line, but what a team win. What effort, especially because I believe when I'm watching this game, they started off down 10 points. Like, we had to score it all. Then all of a sudden, San Antonio goes on a run. Then that second quarter is huge. It's a dominant second quarter to put us in a great place going into halftime. But then the third quarter for the Spurs seemed to be the roughest quarter by far. But they found a way to clean it up in the fourth and make a beautiful comeback again against a very, very tough team, a very, very tough defensive team. We saw Keldon get off. We saw Julian Champagnie do his thing. And to me, again, it's not so much about the win, because the season is over, right? We know the Spurs aren't making it to the play. We know the Spurs aren't going to play in the playoffs. The season is over. However, we have talked about it over and over again. The things you want to see while this team is still playing. So there's still games we play. There's still 2 more games left. And I think last night's game is the perfect reason why Spurs fans should be excited still. Why Mitch Johnson should not be getting hated on. I love that Kerr had a quote about Mitch Johnson coming into the game and just saying, like, how impressed he was with all the turmoil he's had to deal with, injuries, the head coach going down, all these things, not even expecting to be in this position, but he was in it, and I think he has risen to the occasion, and these Spurs have rose to the occasion. This was a game where you were able to just take the soul out of the team as they're heading into the playoffs. This game was essentially meaningless for the Spurs, right? Like, it doesn't change much win or loss on this, but they come out and they ball and they come out and hustle. To me, it's incredible because, again, we're looking at a Warriors team who's going on a run, who Steph's looking great. They added Jimmy. They're getting that momentum back. They're learning these things, and then the Spurs come out and show them why there's still so much promise on this team. I mean, Keldon Johnson, I think I'm going to make a whole video about Keldon Johnson the next day or so and what he's been able to do because he broke a record. He has the most bench scoring, and he passed Ginobili. Think about that for a second. Think about Ginobili possibly top 3 6 man of all time, and then Keldon Johnson is able to break that record. Like, there's just so many good things we are seeing, whether it's a win or a loss with this team, that makes me so excited about the future. A win is a win, baby. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to be happy because there's just 2 games left in this season. Just 2 games left for the Spurs. And man, what a season it's been. Like I said, it has been tough. But when you see the guys rally together like this, when you see the guys come together and find a way to get that win. I mean, you just love it. I mean, look at that. I mean, even Sochan wasn't playing. Like, there's so many guys that's missing on this roster. There's so many pieces that need to be figured out. There's so many pieces to the puzzle where it's like we've lost a piece and we can't find it to finish this puzzle. However, this game just felt really, really good. It was great to see Blake Wesley getting out there. It was great to just see the guys just go out there and compete. I mean, you still have that lack of size. You're still missing so much. However, they found a way to get it done. And I think a lot of that has to do with the young fellas, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, and Keldon Johnson. Now, Dev didn't have the best shooting game. However, we've seen what Dev's done all season. We know what we're going to get out of him. And again, these pieces are valuable because as we head into the offseason, you want to know which of these guys in this picture celebrating are part of the future of this franchise, because that's where it's at now. You got your stars. You went and got Fox. He's getting that money. You went and got Wemby. He's locked in. Now what? Now what do you do? And honestly, I think we've talked about Keldon being a trade piece so much. Man, listen, y'all better come up off an arm and a leg for Keldon at this point, because to me, there's so much value there. And the thing is, everybody's so thirsty to make trades. Everybody's so thirsty to move up in the draft. But you better hit it out the park if you trade Keldon, because this kid is just so incredible. Again, I think I want to dive into that a little more in another video. But this is all about the win. This is all about the big shot heard around the world for the San Antonio Spurs. Look at this shot right here, man. I mean, just incredible over a great defender in Jimmy Butler. And again, I cannot stress enough the joy and excitement, because again, this isn't a game that was a must-win game for the Spurs. It very much so was a must-win game for the Golden State Warriors, and the Spurs found a way to get it done. I'm telling you, look at this team right now, and you got to be excited. You have to be ready, because the expectation drops when you lose your star, let alone your second star. The expectation drops when you don't have the best coach to ever coach in the NBA. The expectation drops. And the expectation has continued to drop for the Spurs. However, they continue to rise above and show why they have some young pieces that are scary. And there's 2 games left, and I want to see the same thing. I want to see these guys get a chance to show how good they are and that show that they are part of the future right now. You really do have a core in Stephon and Dev and Keldon. Then you add Fox, then you add Wemby. You're looking really, really good. We don't know what's going to happen with Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes as they continue to age, as they continue to progress in their career. I think there was a necessity for an older veteran on this team when the season started. But with the changes now, I'm very interested to see how much that veteran presence is needed. Like how much they want to hold on to Harrison Barnes. Like how much do they want Harrison Barnes taking minutes from those Keldons, from those Julian Champagnes, from those Devin Vassells. I'm not completely sure. But I'll tell you what, if somehow we could keep all of this and make all of this work, add another big, add a couple few pieces, I'm telling you, the Spurs' future is extremely bright, even as it stands right now. When you have a Victor Wembanyama, your future is extremely bright. But I'm telling you, this win was huge because it said so much about this team and this team's values and its core. That was a Spurs win. Was it ugly at times? Yes. Was there some ugly quarters? Yes. But the way that they were able to bounce back and compete with, again, a team that is fighting, literally fighting for a spot every game for those Western Conference teams in that like top 2 through 7, 2 through 8 is major, because there's not a lot of difference. It's a game difference between like 2 and 6, which is crazy. So this loss for the Warriors hurt, especially because the Lakers won last night. It's a big game and a big deal. And I just wanted to show the Spurs that love, man. How are y'all feeling? Let us know in the comments. Do y'all feel how I feel when you see things like this? Like, again, a game that does not matter, a game that's not going to affect the lottery very much. When you see these guys come out here and compete like that, how does it make you feel? Are you starting to think that Dev and Keldon are part of the future and not trade assets? I really want to know how you guys are feeling, because, again, we are just approaching the offseason. That's where things get really, really fun. Spurs Digest family, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post. We are getting into possibly the most fun time of the NBA, not just playoffs, But free agency, we get to talk draft, we get to speculate, we get to do all those things. As Gregg Popovich comes back, there's so much to talk about, and we are going to hit you and cover all of it. So make sure you are notified every time we post. Spurs Digest family, I am Bryan Colbert Jr. here celebrating a Spurs win. Well, I'm tired because they had me up late, but I was excited to wake up this morning and talk about the Spurs. Again, I have a video coming out soon talking about Keldon and his impact and the way he's being looked at and spoke about the lead. I think it's very, very interesting. But until then, Spurs family, I'll see y'all next time the Spurs tip off, baby. The season is almost over.